Oh, hiya. Gavin here from TRDQ.org, and I'm on my own. I thought it might be nice to do the occasional solo episode in between the interviews. The interviews are a lot of fun, and I like them a lot. People have been very generous with their time. But, we've just finished up another recording there for the third episode that'll come out next month. But in the meantime, I thought it could be nice to do a couple where I just talk about various toy news, reviews, thoughts on things. Is that arrogant? Is it arrogant to imagine that someone just talking into a microphone on their own is listenable, that people will care about that? I guess we'll find out. But if you can imagine it, these solo podcasts will be a little looser in scope as in compared to the more structured questions of the interviews. It's just going to be, toy news, upcoming stuff I've either picked up or I intend to review, or maybe even things that I don't intend to review and I can still talk about them in this platform. I think perhaps even a mailbag, if folks want to ask questions or start discussions, or in my case, a diatribe, they can get in touch, askrepugnus@gmail.com, or you can do it through the Patreon, patreon.com/TRDQ. You can put a question into the chat there and we'll get it on the show. So I'm intending these to be fairly quick, much like the show, Transformers podcasting done quick, if you like. So let's get on with it. So if you've been following the channel, you'll know that I went to a screening of the Transformers 40th anniversary. I went to my town hall, which was very strange. If you haven't seen the video, I was the only person that turned up. And a few people have said, was that a bit? Were you joking? Are you having a laugh? No, I was the only person who turned up to that screening. It was Wednesday at 7 o'clock. There were weekend showings, I'm sure, were much busier. But yeah, it was a little bit awkward. The people were very nice. The staff were lovely at Airdrie Town Hall. They were like, no, don't go. I got to like the end of the new content. They were showing 4 episodes of the G1 show, and the first episode had a script reading along with it. So you had Peter Cullen and Frank Welker and new voice actors and old ones that were all coming together for this first episode, which was a little bit disappointing. I think, I know it's a lot to ask, especially as people are getting up there in years, to sit down and record 4 episodes. I think your best bet would have been just show the first 3, just show the first More Than Meets the Eye episodes, and then have them do the script reading for the whole thing. And I know that would have been more expensive, but it's the 40th anniversary. You're making such a big deal out of it. You only had 1 episode. It just felt a little bit like you were asking people to leave their houses and go to this thing. Make it a bit more special than that. And they had these little interstitials and little bits and pieces where they were chatting away. It felt half-arsed, and it sounds almost ungrateful to say that, but it's not. We paid for it, so fuck them. But yeah, it got to the end of the special content. It just got to the point they were showing just normal episodes of Transformers, which I've seen a million times, and I decided just to say the guy who, he was lovely, but he was at the back of the hall, and I could feel his eyes boring into the back of my head as he struggled to comprehend how a 40-year-old man could be here watching this child's cartoon. But he was lovely. So you paid your ticket, you paid your for your ticket. You might as well stay. And I was like, no, it's fine. I'm just going to leave. So I was there for maybe half an hour. There was an Earthspark Season 2 trailer, which was good. As I said in the video, there was more Skull Cruncher, which is always welcome, but not necessarily impressed with what I saw. Even if there were people there, if it was a sold-out crowd, I still think I would have walked away feeling a little bit, not shortchanged. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm glad I went, but it could have been more than it was. Here, I tell you what, they're pumping out some shite at the moment, aren't they, when it comes to Transformers-related merchandise? Not to mention the Hot Wheels Prime that's just came out. Now, that's a cool little thing, for sure. It's a die-cast Hot Wheels Optimus Prime that transforms. More like the G1 Optimus Prime in terms of the articulation and whatnot. It's not like Missing Link or anything like that. It comes with the 2 little fists, all that patter. It's got quite a cute, smooshed little face, and I like it. It's just the fact that I think it's retailing at about 80 quid. Like £80 or $80, I'm not entirely sure. I'll need to double check that. But even if it is only $80, that would probably mean about £70 to £80 here. And there's no fucking way I'm going to be spending that much money on a little Hot Wheels version of Optimus Prime. Even though it's cool, looks like it would be heavy, and you could probably throw it through a neighbour's window. I am not spending that much money to cause that much bother for my neighbours. I don't think so. Hasbro, Or Hot Wheels, thanks. The more I record of this, the more I worry that it's just a stream of consciousness and people will just think, get a fucking diary, mate. Join a forum. If you want to just shout into the void. No, this is my version of shouting into the void, okay? Go on a forum. What do you think this is? Fucking 2005? Anyway, you know what else I'm enjoying right now? The Energon Universe. And I never thought I would. As soon as you hear the words Energon Universe, it's just one of those things that makes your undercarriage shrink into the rest of your body, isn't it? Like a brand new comics universe from Skybound was always going to be a bit of a tough proposition. It was always going to have an uphill battle in getting people on board. But I think they've done it quite admirably, but in the shadow of IDW. And don't get me, like, I am such a huge IDW Transformers fan. I think they did such a good job, especially in those last couple of years with More Than Meets the Eye, Lost Light, Optimus Prime. Oh, and let's not forget the Wreckers series, Last Spot Standing, which I did a cover for, things like that. So I'm slightly biased towards it. You know, I got to be very tangentially involved in what would be the definitive final IDW story. So fucking great stuff. But to my surprise, I'm really enjoying all the aspects of this Energon universe. I enjoyed Duke, I enjoyed Cobra Commander. Like, I've been enjoying them so far. The artwork is stellar on both. Again, I think overall, along with Void Rivals and the Transformers series, it's clear they're placing a real focus on kinetic artwork, on dynamism, on lots of squiggly lines to denote action. But I love it. It's just so different. And as much as I love IDW, we needed different when this new company took over. And that's exactly what they've done. I think even from a human standpoint, the comics feel very rich. And yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it in a big way. I did not expect this. I'm very surprised and I'm very happy about it. They've really managed to admirably toe that line and get that nice mix of the things that I like and I'm nostalgic for in the Transformers and give it a bit of a new lick of paint and have a more human focus in it as well, which I do appreciate. I don't just mean in terms of they have human characters, I mean in terms of the humanity, if you will, the Cybertronianity of the Transformers. I'm so glad it's just not some watered down evergreen style. That's what I expected it to be, just a return to essentially they were doing Saturday morning cartoon comics. Which is fine, but it's not what I wouldn't be interested in that. I am very interested in where they're going with this. So what do you think? Do you like the new comics? Have you read them at all? Any interest? Let me know. askrepugnus@gmail.com, or you can send a message on the Patreon. Now, I really cannot be bothered with the Pulse live streams these days. I like to just wait for the pictures to come out. I do not need to see them. I do not need to read all of your chat coming up the side on YouTube. My God, you're insufferable. The way you go on those things. Where's that's how you sound. I cannot deal with it anymore. So I just like to see the pictures, thank you. The only thing really that jumped out to me as a 41-year-old, sack of shit was the Straxus. The comic book Straxus. They nailed it exactly what I want. Like when we got G-Axis. Like, G-Axis wasn't exactly perfect, but it was very, very much G-Axis from the G2 comics, and this is very, very much Straxus from the G1 comics, so great. And I tell you what, I didn't think I would say this either. The cover that they have with that comic cover with Straxus fighting Blaster, release that Blaster mold again with those blue accents on it, and I will buy it. How about that? I've bought that toy 3 times now. I'll buy it 4th. That's how stupid I am. But I think they're going to get me on all these comic themed redecos. I think I'm going to get the Shockwave, I'm going to get the Grimlock, and it's for the accessories as well. That's just how they get you, these fucking Malibu Stacy new hats. You know, you get the Optimus Prime head. I want that. I want the Grimlock, the extra swords that Grimlock comes with to give to the other Studio Series Dinobots. They've got us. They got us banged to rights. We are all horrible. But without coming across as too negative, there was literally nothing else that I fancied. And I think that's good at the moment. I'm trying not to spend so much money right now. So that's a good thing in a way, that I'm not being bombarded with this stuff that I like, and I'm going to get that FOMO from it. But you can't always expect every one of these streams to have tons of stuff for you. There's such a wide variety of Transformers shit that we have to look through. There's 40 years of it now. We have to cater to different people from different age groups and eras, and that's very reasonable of me, isn't it? I tell you something else that's very exciting to me, probably not to you or to anyone else, but Hasbro's imprint, Avalon Hill, they do think all their board games, things like Hero Quest and the like, they now have the license for Talisman, and I am a massive fan of the Talisman board game. It's an extremely divisive, horrible, long, shitty game, but I love it so much. I've played it since I was a kid, and I followed it all the way through, so I'm very excited that there's going to be a new 5th edition coming out soon. I did not know it was going to be Avalon Hill, so their stuff's usually I quite like the quality of it, I like the artwork on it. Yeah, so that's quite a nice little surprise, and it's coming out in time for someone's birthday, so think about that. In the post this morning, I picked up a Masters of the Universe Modulok, an original Modulok, complete with his little gun and everything, and I'll be doing a review on that after Monkey Mania is over. Maybe we'll get a few Transformers under our belts before that. But yeah, Modulok, if you don't know Modulok, look it up, it's fantastic. What a great toy. Just this little red goblin who has all these little pieces, and you can make up your own versions of them and come up with your own configurations. It is truly wonderful, and it was a real trip down memory lane, as it was something I had when I was a kid, and I thought, I don't have a Modulok anymore in my life. Everyone needs a little bit of Modulok in their life. So yeah, very excited to have him back and get a review out, and hopefully we can start to change your viewpoint as one of my horrible audience that doesn't care about anything other than Transformers. Open your minds a little. So yeah, I'm just coming up to the final round of Monkey Mania videos. We are just about to put one out this week. I think it goes out tomorrow. And then we've got one more after that. And I think that's going to be a mix of different smaller monkey-based toys. Some Transformers, some not. I just recently got Beast Machine's Primal, the really scary one. The one that looks like a sort of a haunted skeleton. That's one, I had it already, but then I noticed that one of the pieces was missing, and I could not in good conscience do that to my fans, to my audience. So I had to spend a $5 on getting a new one, and I'm going to just take the hat off it. And then Monkey Mania will be over for another year, and hopefully we'll get some more monkeys in the coming years, because I don't think there's enough for another Monkey Mania next year. But we'll see, you never know. I think we had, the boom period of Optimus Primals and other monkeys when Rise of the Beasts was out. So hopefully we get a sequel. Obviously not within the next year. Maybe we'll skip a year. Maybe we'll do it every 4 years, like the Olympics. Monkey Mania can just be an event that people look forward to every 4 years. If there is any major monkey, simian, ape toy that I haven't reviewed that you want to see for Monkey Mania perhaps next year, let me know. Again, askrepugnus@gmail.com. And indeed, if you want to ask a question, if you want to trigger a discussion point, or anything like that, email askrepugnus@gmail.com. That is the best way to get in touch with us. You can also do so on Patreon. We have the chat in there that all patrons can go into, and also you get to support the channel, which is nice. And I really do appreciate it at the moment. It's been a shitty couple of months in regards to personal and work life. So every little helps, and any support that we get for the show keeps the show running, genuinely keeps the show running, because it's an expensive proposition, especially when now we've added things like the podcast and whatnot, and just buying stuff for the show and all the other things that come with it, all these little hidden costs that you don't think about when you start an endeavour like this. So it all genuinely does help, and I'm really, really grateful to everyone who's supported the Patreon and continues to support it. So any comments? Was this boring? Was this a man driven insane and talking into a microphone to an audience that simply doesn't care? Does this kind of thing actually work? Did you enjoy it? Ultimately, what I want out of this is just another method to spew my bile, and hopefully it gives you something to listen to stick on in the background for 15 minutes or so every week, let's say, and then we'll have the interviews interspersed throughout as well. So we'll have short form, long form, and we'll see where this goes. It might mutate into something cool. I'm getting messages on my phone. That's so unprofessional, man. Gavin, get it together. But yeah, in the meantime, askrepugnus@gmail.com. If you have anything you want to talk about or you want me to talk about, anything in the news, talk about a specific toy, talk about a review we've done in the past, ask how Repugnus is. And we'll see you next time on the Secret Hot Tub Podcast. All right, thanks. Don't forget to check out the stuff that I do. Thanks. It's in the description. Thanks.